Hey everybody, Coach Josh here, Pitch Mechanics 101. I've started this new habit here in the quarantine of that after every meal I take or I eat, take a nice little 5-minute, 10-minute walk. All right, somewhat brisk, just trying to increase blood flow. It helps digestion. Just a way for me to kind of get some recovery work in, to kind of stay active a little bit with all the gyms closed. And normally in that time, I use it to sort of reflect. Normally it's some sort of training thing of what worked with this athlete, what didn't work with that athlete, why not. Could I try this? Maybe it clicks. Maybe this cue works. I had a similar athlete a couple years ago. Let me try it with this kid. All sorts of things. And I just kind of bounce those ideas off, ironically, usually without headphones. But I figured I'd like to think I'm somewhat smart enough that maybe me kind of bouncing those ideas around in my head, I can kind of rant on something. Maybe somebody watching picks up something. Maybe it helps one of their athletes, or an athlete watching picks up something that helps him get better. Whatever, right? So the first one I think I want to talk about, and it's a bit ironic given my aptly named Twitter page, but how I don't teach pitching mechanics anymore, right? So a perfect example actually happened to this about a couple weeks ago. I had a kid come up, and we were working, and I'd never worked with him before, never seen him before, never met him before. All I've seen is some 6-month-old showcase bullpen video footage, right? And I kind of ran through my checklist of, okay, he does this well, doesn't do that well, blah, blah, blah. First thing I do when I see the kid is I want to assess him. First thing, clear and simple. It's the only thing you can do, right? I want to know what I'm working with on a clean slate-wise. Right, what's actually going on here? And we do the assessment. Doesn't have full neck range, right? Limited in cervical rotation. And we're also limited in the toe touch. Get to about mid-shin, not very good. We failed full body rotation, and we were awful in our overhead squat. So before I even started, hey, we got to fix this, fix that, fix this, I'm worried about how do we fix those generic movement issues, right? If we can't move our neck the way we need to, we're probably going to have issues in our shoulder, right? If we can't touch our toes, I don't know that our neuromuscular system's ready to fire the way we need to throw a ball really, really hard. So we got to fix that. And we probably spent the first 20-25 minutes just hammering out corrective exercises. And after that, we got pretty close to touching toes. There was a slight cheat, but we got infinite progress. Core stability much improved. I think we got to just about passing level on that. And we were crushing full body rotation. Overhead squat still needed some work. We can't improve the ankles overnight. But ultimately, we saw some progress. And before we even hopped into throw, or before I even was like, hey, let's try this drill, this cue, this thought, just playing catch, he looks at me and goes, this is the best I felt in a long time, just playing catch, throwing a baseball. It feels stress-free, feels like the ball's just kind of jumping out of my hand. I'm like, awesome. It's probably what happens when your brain's not on lockdown the entire time trying to find stability. Now that you've got it, you can use the things you need to. And all we really did, just kind of looking at his mechanics, there were some back leg issues that kind of limited. We saw some early extension of the pelvis. We're kind of extended through the back leg. We're not really rotating the pelvis down. As a result, shoulders are a little early. Arm looks a little pushy from what most people would call. But he passed with enough shoulder range that we're like, okay, well, there's the ability to be whippy. Something's going on, right? Some sort of stability issue. All I did was we created one drill. Basically, it's the quick pick. You've probably seen me talk about all the time. Just start with your back to your target, drop step, turn and throw hard, right? All of a sudden, we looked at video and it cleaned up the back hip, and the back hip started loading better. We started to see the pelvis start to rotate down, started to be able to rotate, not extend and kind of veer off to the arm side. And all of a sudden, the shoulder stayed sacked a little bit longer. The arm looked a little bit whippier, and 3 minutes and 10 reps of a drill that he'd never done before. And that was it. That was basically the extent of what we did. And it was, hey, we found the drill. That drill worked for you. We've got to incorporate the movement stuff we did, pre-throwing into your normal routine. That needs to be like an automatic. And then we just kind of found the right drill. Luckily, I was right on the first guess of, hey, what helps him move better? What helps him feel whatever it is we need to feel? And he left 2 weeks ago. Just get an update, we're still doing awesome, right? And I told him, as long as we're seeing continuous progress, you don't need to come back to me or any other pitching coach, right? If you're getting progress from the things you're doing, keep crushing them. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? And that was that was the extent of it. And to me, that's how I've kind of shifted my thinking and methodology over the last couple of years, is instead of trying to find, what's the perfect drill, or I just got to cue this better, or, we got to be able to move this or that, or, what if I cue them to do that, or what if I did this? And instead it's just, what if we just find the right drill at the right time, and we create the environment that allows the athlete to figure out whatever limitation or kind of explore whatever range or new movement we're trying to work on, right? And then over time, we start to progress it. Maybe we create some variability with it. We add some competition to it. We put some timer on it. We can do a bunch of things, right? But we just kind of progress from there. And all of a sudden, we're letting the environment dictate what it is we're trying to work on, and not just kind of force feeding everybody to do the same similar drills. I'm guilty of that. I used to do it all the time, right? Everybody's doing pivot pickoffs. Everybody's doing this. Everybody's doing that. We start to realize, the pivot pickoff is a great drill for a lot of people. It ain't for everybody, right? Some people have jacked up T-spines, or the arm just isn't strong enough to kind of lay back in that advanced position. So we tweak it. Maybe we go to our knees. Maybe we just don't do them at all. All right, but whatever it is, we start to play around and find different drills, constraints, the environment, and we just sort of let the athlete drive the process. And instead of me trying to constantly cue, it's, hey, let's give him 4 to 6 reps, and then let him tell me what he's feeling. Instead of constantly like, I'm not liking the way this looks. I don't like the way that looks. Let's have a conversation of, hey, that felt whippier. Cool. Probably was. I don't know. Right? Until we really look at it. But let him start to drive. All right, but I feel like I'm not getting to here. I'm not doing this. You had mentioned we wanted to do that, or I should feel this, and we're not getting to that. Okay, well then we make the decision. Or then we make the conscious effort to change whatever it is in the drill we need to change. But we're not just constantly cueing, hey, we got to do this, we got to do that, this needs to be better. Just kind of let the athlete drive the process of what needs to improve. And to be honest, I think my rate of success working with athletes has gone from about 50% to 80, 85, seeing progress. And I don't think that in a selfish way. I think that's really just athletes becoming more knowledgeable themselves to understand what it is they're trying to accomplish and how they're going to go about doing so. And all of a sudden you start educating guys. Again, I can tell you as a junior college pitching coach myself, I'm not going to be these guys' last pitching coach. Guaranteed, right? They're going to go to a 4-year. Some of them may be lucky enough to get drafted. Either way, I'm not the last pitching coach they're ever going to deal with. So I got to give them the tools and whatever it is they need to go be successful on their own, with or without me, right? Because I'm not going to be the last guy they ever get info from. They've got to be able to discern, hey, this guy doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. I know how to get myself ready. I know what I need to work on mechanically to get to whatever it is I need to be, without thinking about it directly. Right? We start to understand, hey, when I'm in a competitive environment, or I just got to fall back to this feel, this thought, this action, this process gets me to where I need to be. And that's different for every player. And I'm just trying to help them get to that level on their own as quickly as they could possibly understand it. Right? There isn't a magic pill, there isn't a special formula. It's really just that. Just crush it as best we can. And we hope to see progress, and we kind of help them learn and develop on their own versus kind of forcing them to fit whatever system I want to do. Right? Pliers are great for some, not for everybody. Throwing a football, great for some, not for everybody. We just kind of figure out what works for each individual person. We crush it from there. That's all I've got for today. Let me know if you've got ideas for future talks. Leave a comment below to let me know what you think. See you guys next time.